So last year I started making music videos and I learned a lot of lessons, but there's a few that I picked up on that I don't really hear anybody else mentioning. Now for context, I was doing everything myself when it comes to the pre-production, actually shooting, behind the scenes photos on film, editing, doing the social media content for the rollout. Everything was all me. So I learned a lot through that process, but there's a couple things that I learned without even having a camera in my hand. Growing up, I was always infatuated with cameras regardless of which side I was on. I didn't have any film or photography classes available in school. In fact, I actually failed art class, so I never got artsy or thought too much about the passion other than just incorporating it with all the other interests that I had organically. That was until I became obsessed with music videos. They were on 24/7 regardless of what I was doing, whether I was working on my own video, cleaning my room, playing video games. I had a music video on. And I realized that I could actually pull something from each music video that I watched regardless of the genre that it was in. I knew that's what I really wanted to do, but I wanted to do it justice because of how much passion I had for the music videos. And there's a lot that YouTube University will teach you when it comes to your lighting, when it comes to your movements, angles, shot list, all of the above. I love YouTube for everything that you can learn on it, but there's a couple things that you won't learn until you actually start working with artists and actually getting out in the field, shooting, editing, and trying to get it through management to be released. So with that being said, here's what I learned in this last year. Number one on the list, these are your artist's words. Your job is simply to translate them into a visual medium that is consumable. This is both a service-based and a product-based industry that you are working in. However, you cannot put too much of yourself into this artwork or you're going to just get lost in the sauce, especially if you're trying to work with bigger artists and labels, management, and all of the above. There's going to be things that you don't necessarily agree with or believe in that are being asked of you, and you kind of just have to bite the bullet with it and go with it. Now, you'll be given projects here and there where your artist has absolutely no idea what their visual idea would be, but I guarantee once you start pitching a few ideas and proposals, it'll start to give them the route that they actually want to go, and they'll start saying no to things that you suggest, even though they told you they don't have any idea what they want to do. So just keep that in mind. Don't get married to your proposals or your shot lists. Just go into it with brainstorming and trying to push your artist to say, hey, I do like this idea, I do like this concept, and then you go down deeper through that rabbit hole. Go deeper down that rabbit hole. Can't talk. Now for number two, you definitely want to create a shot list, but I also advise that you do not get married to this shot list. Similar to your proposals, there are going to be things that you actually attempt that just don't work out how you expect them to, or they might not even blend with the other projects. As well, this shot list is supposed to be kind of like a North Star when you're actually out on location, and you don't want to run into any moments where you feel, oh, what should we be shooting? Or I don't know what I want to do here. This shot list is going to be that North Star, like I said. So when you get there, you can feel like you're staying on track, but you should still leave space for yourself to have creative moments and spontaneous accidents to occur that you just have captured on camera, because most of the time they're actually going to be really cool, may even end up being your favorite things. Say for example, you have this location that you have in mind for a video shoot, you drive past it every single day after work, you finally go and take your talent to that location, and the light that you saw that made that whole scene look perfect is burnt out. Well, now you're kind of stuck in a predicament of either completely giving up on the location and moving to another one, or trying to improvise with whatever you have. Now, most likely in this situation, you had the visual idea of that spotlight in that location, but you can now experiment with like your iPhone lights or any kind of on-camera lights or whatever you have that's continuous. Try that out, see how that looks. If you don't like it, that's okay. You might end up liking it more than what you originally went out there for. Or worst case scenario, you go to another location that you didn't even have in mind. It ends up looking just as cool, if not cooler, than what you had in mind. I promise everything happens for a reason. You just have to experiment when you are given these hurdles and obstacles to overcome. Try to see what works, what doesn't, but don't waste too much time also spending 3 minutes, 4 minutes shooting a whole performance with each single option that you have on your list. Maybe give them 20, 30 seconds each. Be like, yeah, that looks cool. Let's do a whole performance here. Run it back. Now for number 3, it kind of ties into the end cap of number 2, but it's also a general rule that kind of plays into everything that we do in life, and that's everything that's worth having takes some adversity to overcome, but not all adversity is worth overcoming. So let me kind of dive into that a little bit. Now, like I mentioned in the last section, a lot of our best work comes from spontaneous moments that are just caught on accident, or maybe even errors or fuck ups that just end up working out and looking cool. So you definitely want to leave space for those things to actually happen, and as well, give yourself some mental space to worry about the problem solving and trying to overcome these obstacles to get these cool things. However, not everything is worth overcoming. Sometimes there's going to be moments where, say, the weather just keeps shitting out, or rental cars are all out of battery, things of that nature. Some things that are just completely out of your control are happening for a reason. You just have to find that reason and run with it. This isn't something that comes immediately, and it definitely takes a lot of fuck, I should have done this, or I should have done that moments. It's going to be inevitable. Just get them done out of the way at the beginning, really get your senses honed in, and it'll make your future a lot easier. Now, my first few music videos were actually these examples down to a T, and let me kind of explain how. Now, with this most recent one, during pre-production, I wasn't really quite agreeing with the vision that my artist had for the video. However, again, at the end of the day, this is my artist's vision. My job is to bring it to life. Now, once we got about a day or two into shooting, I decided we really needed a shot list to make sure we were staying on track, and also making sure we are actually catching content that was going to work out and matter in the video. However, I still wanted to make sure that there were gaps for that freedom to just have fun on location, and it definitely worked out. Honestly, most of my favorite shots from the video were complete experiments, testing things out, messing around, things that weren't on the shot list at all. And there's a lot of things that were on the shot list that just didn't get shot, or got shot that didn't make it into the video. So again, it happens. Now, the creation of the video felt like never-ending adversity to overcome. We had gone out to a completely different state, shot that with all of its own complications inside of that. Got home, edited. About halfway through editing, I got a text saying, hey, let's reshoot it. So I had to get to work and had to start figuring out how we were going to completely reshoot this video behind the management's back when it was due in like 3 days at that point. So we had to kind of lie to management and be like, oh, the editor's taking a little bit of extra time, I'm taking my time with it, blah, blah, blah. Even after we did that, things just weren't working out. There was weather delays, schedule complications, my gimbal broke on set. I had to screw it back together with my bare hands. We were getting kicked off the golf course, all sorts of shit. You name it, it happened to us. But it's the little moments like somebody walking by and saying, wow, that song's really good, or what are you guys recording? Blah, blah, blah. Someone interacting, or you guys seeing a really cool shot and you're like, yeah, that's the one, and everybody knows that's the one. You're gonna get those moments, and those are going to be a reaffirming, yes, this is the right path, this is what you should be doing. 100,000 things can go wrong, but equally as many people can see the hard work that you put in once the final result is made. So it's a gauge. You're going to have to learn. All of these things just come in time, but it's things that I learned over my last 365 days. I don't even think it's been a full year of shooting videos yet, but it's creeping up there. If it's not there, it's right there. So I've definitely learned a lot in this 365 days. It's definitely not on this list as well. I'll say that there's infinite lessons I could go on about. Anything else that you guys want to hear more specifically dive into, let me know down in the comments below. Hit me up on Instagram at hdgraceless, Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, at John Graceless. I'm super responsive, so make sure you let me know any suggestions, anything that you guys want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to talk about it. So thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and make some shit.